Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I'm Catherine, and Home Office for Creative Memories surprised us with a pop up challenge for St. Patrick's Day, and they did not give us a sketch to work from for this challenge. So I actually took a little cue from our actual pop-up crop that Kim and I did the other day on our live stream, and I found a scrap that had a circle cut out of it. Go figure. So if you check my live tab on my YouTube channel, you will see that I have done a live stream showing how to use the scraps from our citrus slice. And today I actually am kind of going to give you another idea of something that you can do with those scraps as well. So, since there's no sketch, look in the description box for this video for my measurements. I've gone ahead and already put them in there, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along. But I also, of course, link the blog post as well, so you can see what's up with that as well. So let me get things switched over. I have a little bit of a different thing to do today, so let's see how this works. Okay. So now let me change this real quick and let's get this focused. Here we go. All right. Well, this is definitely my first time live streaming with the new software that I had it scheduled and having it for a longer time here. So trying to learn the new ropes here. I guess, we can learn some new tricks here. I am going to add just a little bit of tape runner around the actual circle part of this circle scrap I found. The challenge for St. Patrick's Day was to use a green palette. So that's what I'm working with. I am working with the What a Zoo 2 collection. And you can see from looking at my scrap here, I don't actually have it centered very well when I actually cut my circle. Go figure. So what I did was I measured this narrower piece up here, and this was 1/4 of an inch. So I pulled out a sheet of dark green cardstock, and I cut it at, what did I cut it at? 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. Go figure. And I am going to center it. So that way, and of course I folded this piece too because I thought I was just going to be cutting and using the corners, but hey, sometimes an idea strikes, and I thought, you know what, this is going to show a completely different effect than what I did the other day. And I just thought it really fit nicely with the challenge as well. Let me see if I can actually get this centered here. And yes, of course, you can use your 13 by 13 mats. Always. I did put just a little bit of repositionable tape on those narrower parts before I went live because it just felt easier, but I'm going to take my finger now and rub it through those sections. Let's get that's the nice thing about the repositionable tape. And you can see on the back side, we of course have this, but we don't really care about that because now our scrap is in full use. We have just a really pretty frame going around our dark green cardstock. If my camera would focus, there we go. That'd be so much better there. So we have that little frame going around. And then what I did was I had another sheet of just the same print, the paper, that it has the water effect on the back. So it's blue, light blue with like a water effect on the back. And I cut a frame on my 12-inch trimmer. I did use my binder clips, and you can see how nice and neatly it's going to fit. It's almost going to look like it's a double framed picture, essentially. So let's get some tape runner on this. This piece, I cut the outer square. So I cut my paper down. I have to make sure I have to tape runner the correct direction first here. So the outside of this paper is 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. And then the inside square is 10 1/4. So I wanted a thicker frame, if you will. So I wanted it to be 1 inch, and that's how I cut it. And if you all would like to see how I did this, drop me a comment and I will see about doing another live stream maybe tomorrow to show you all how to cut the frame. I know I've shown it in other lives, but I usually try to kind of move things along for these so that way we can just show the project. I can tell you what I did, and y'all don't have to watch me cut every single piece, but you can get the effect of what I'm doing here. So you can see here, by cutting it at the 11 1/4, and this was 11 3/4, essentially we have just another nice layer of frame. It almost looks like one of those really fancy professionally done, professionally mounted photos, if you will. So now I'm continuing to use scraps a bit from this collection. And I feel like I did do a What a Zoo 2 for one of our virtual crops at some point as well. So, you can always look through my channel a little bit for that. Okay, I pulled out a monkey stickers, or a couple monkey stickers, and some bananas. I also have pulled out a couple of mats, surprise, surprise, that we're just going to frame in here. And then I've got this little piece here. So this little piece here is 2 3/8 by 2 5/8, which is an unusual size for me. But my scrap was 2 3/8 wide, and I wanted to actually grab here's my other monkey. I wanted to actually, it was this. No, it was this. So I had a scrap that was like this, and it was the 2 3/8 wide, and I just wanted to actually be able to grab some of this foliage because, of course, it's also green, and then it also gives me something to put my monkeys on, if you will. And so we're just going to have 2 photos on this page. And if you decide you want to just put a photo here and do your journaling here, you can. You can also grab out a chalking pen and do some journaling here on the cardstock as well. But this is kind of what I thought looked really good at using. Like I said, I'm using up some scraps, which I'm really happy about. And I did kind of create a new scrap out of this other one, but I have a nice large square I can work with on another project and not have like a bunch of little strips or just odd pieces like this one where it's not quite wide enough to use for a mat, but it's small enough now that I cut it down to use for our stickers. So here we go. Sticking with the green theme, and I like that these papers do have a little bit of, just mustard and a little bit of pink and a little bit of other colors in it and several shades of green, because it helps us stay in the challenge, but it also makes it interesting to look at as well. So I'm kind of centering this one a little bit more. This one kind of went a little bit more up into the corner. And I have our monkeys. So of course we have the one with all of the bananas, not quite all the bananas, but a bunch of bananas. We're going to stick him so you can still see some of the foliage on the page here. I don't know what that is. There we go. Just a little extra paper scrap. And then the other monkey is going to go up here in the top, but I think I'm going to try to see if we can wrap him around this extra leaf sticker as well. So maybe have this coming in from here and him angling off a little bit more. Maybe if we put his tail kind of behind our actual stem, that will actually help with our placement, make him look like he's sort of hanging in the plants, brush, jungle, Whatever it is. And then I also did pull in a couple of other just green stickers. I pulled in some bananas because I had a bunch of bananas. So how's about they're looking at some of these extra little bananas. We're just going to populate through our frame a little bit because we have to know what these monkeys are looking at, even though this guy has a whole lot of bananas already. I'm just going to layer a couple more bananas up here. And should we give this guy a little banana too? I don't know where his eyes are going. Maybe we'll put it over here. Let's see here. Maybe we'll just create one bunch here. All right. It's interesting the way the tops of the bananas are kind of linked. So there we go. Okay, so we have a fun little bunch of bananas in the top of our page, which is kind of where the eyes of our monkeys are going to. And then we have a whole lot of green going on. I thought I might add this one here along with maybe layering these two hearts, because this one has like a little bit of it's a brown, but it has a little bit of a print to it. And then this one, of course, is green. I found a couple of green hearts because the challenge was to use green. So let's use green. And so I'm going to actually layer this onto this other heart. And maybe that might be too busy up there. I don't think that's going to work there. Maybe we'll just put this one here. I think that's actually good. And I had one extra green heart that I'm not going to use either. And I think that is it. This is kind of hard to see on the page, but if I hold it up, there you go. All right, so how did I do? Do you think I met the green challenge? I hope so. And I think it turned out to be a fun page. I think maybe I'll try to find some zoo pictures from taking my kids when they were young to the zoo and add a couple of pictures to this page. I've got my mats ready to go. Super easy, super fun, and a whole lot of green. So thank you so much for joining me this morning for this special pop-up challenge that the home office put out. I hope you enjoyed getting another idea to use with your jumbo circle scraps. I know for me, it's always good to come up with ideas to use with some of these odd shaped scraps where you don't feel like you've wasted an entire sheet of paper as well. And have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful Saturday. And until next time.